What's up, guys? How you doing? A lot of you have been asking me to demo my pedal board, and I was delaying it a little bit just because I wanted to make sure my setup was done on my board, and as you can see, there's really no more room to add any more pedals, so yeah, so I'll just get started. So first pedal I have on my board is the first pedal I ever got. It's a Boss tuner, a very reliable tuner. Boss, the build of the Boss pedals is great. Definitely recommend getting a tuner as your first pedal for those of you that are interested in getting into that. It's just basic tuner, keeps you in tune on stage, you know, so that's always a good thing. Yeah. So, oh, and it also works as a power supply. So as you can see, like I put in the, if you had a daisy chain, you could plug in power supply here and then daisy chain it through here, and it'll link to all your other pedals. So that's cool. Next, I have my MXR Bass Compressor. Just keeps my bass, the volume of my bass within a certain range. You know, if I hit strum too hard by accident, you know, it'll keep it in a certain range. So here it is without compression. And you'll hear some certain spikes, but without, or with this, so it'll keep my bass volume within a certain range, which is really nice. And it also shows me how much it's reducing the volume by, which is good for some, because I don't know, it was hard for me to hear the compression at first, but with the graphic EQ, it's really nice. Right now I have it at a 1:12 ratio, so for every 12 decibels I go over, only one will go out, so I really squeeze my bass tone. It's also really good for slapping, which I don't do, but that's what a lot of people are getting compressors for. So as you can see, it's pretty important when slapping, just to make sure your tone doesn't go, so you don't get too loud or you don't peak, I guess. Alright, so next up I have my DigiTech bass synth wah. Basically, any Muse cover you see me do, I pretty much use that pedal. What I really like about this pedal is the tracking on it is just amazing for a pedal that's only like $90. I know I tried out the Boss synth also, and the tracking on that was awful, but you can play as fast as you want and this will track all your notes just fine. So like example, like see, the notes were tracked fine, there was no lag or anything. It also has an octave effect, which is pretty cool, like that, so that's nice to have also if you don't have an octave pedal. So yeah, next up I have my Soundblox Multiwave bass distortion. So still really haven't found a good use for this besides like Skrillex covers and making like a synth sound, but yeah, I'll just demo it anyways. So. Oops. Yeah, so also I recently just got the Source Audio Hot Hand, which is just basically an expression pedal that you control with your hand. So turn it on, you see it's in sync with the Hot Hand ring now. So you're apparently supposed to use this. It works better with filters and like the bass envelope filter and stuff like that, but I only have, this is the only Source Audio pedal I have, and the only other pedal it's compatible with is my Harmonist, and I really don't want to use it from my Harmonist. So basically what the Hot Hand does with my multi-way bass distortion, it controls the drive, and then you can control using the X, Y, and Z axes, so depending on how you calibrate it, but right now I'll just use one axis. So here's a little demo of it. That's gain all the way up, and then no gain. like dubstep kind of sounds with this. Here I'll add my synth. So yeah, there's a little demo of that. It's still trying to find a good use for this hot hand, but so far I really haven't come up with much. But yeah, pretty much. So next up I have my Aguilar AGRO. It's a bass overdrive. This basically replaced my Boss overdrive, which I used in a ton of my covers. But this one, it sounds a little more natural, you know. And one problem I had with the Boss overdrive is that you could never get a subtle amount of gain with the Boss overdrive. It was just noise. So that's nice to have. So for example, with this one, here, and I'll show you my clean tone. And then with it. And that's not a lot of gain, but you see it's already at 12 noon, you know? So, like with my Boss overdrive, I would get this much gain when it was all the way down here. So that's a big difference, you know? And so you can use this, I mean, you could use this as a heavy overdrive. Or you could use it as a subtle overdrive, which I like to use, or like slapping, for example. Here, I'll show you my clean tone. And then with the overdrive. So yeah, really adds a little nice touch. And then I can combine it with my Multiwave bass distortion to give it a little more kick. So this is just the Multiwave. So that's nice. I can also combine it with my synth. Like I was trying to make a Time Is Running Out sound with this. So here's just with the synth. So, you know, it compresses it a little bit. Sounds pretty nice. But yeah. Next up I have my favorite pedal, or favorite effect pedal, I'd say the green Rhino. It's more of a tube overdrive made by a Way Huge. Problem I've had with my overdrives is that the ones I've experienced, like the Boss and the Aguilar, they sound nice, but they really don't retain the low end. But with the green Rhino, it retains the low end pretty well, and it's technically not even a bass pedal. So here's my clean tone. And then with the green Rhino. Really heavy, really retains the low, which is nice. I wish it would give me a little more drive. See, when I turn it all the way up, see, it's heavy, but not as heavy as the AGRO. But what's nice is I can just stack it with the AGRO if I really want to get that aggressive tone. So that's nice to have around, yeah. So definitely my favorite pedal. I've used it for like almost all the covers that I've posted since I got it, this pedal. Alright, now I have my Bass Fuzz Deluxe. I originally was going to get the Bass Big Muff, but what happened is I ended up liking this pedal a lot better, and it was a lot more compact. I really like having the blend signals, the dry for my clean signal and wet for my distorted signal. You could only get that with the Deluxe Bass Big Muff, but that was just too big for my board. But yeah, this one, it's a nice fuzz. You can get a nice hysteria tone for it, I suppose. So I'll just play clean first and then with the distortion. also combine it with my green Rhino if I want to get more of like a Queens of the Stone Age sound. And I can also combine it with my synth if I want to get like a Muse tone. Yeah, alright. So now I have my Harmonist. It's I got it at Best Buy when they were closing out their music section. I got it for like 70 bucks off, so it was a good buy. It's just basically, it's a fun pedal. It's not necessarily, it's not the most useful one, but has a lot of different features. So right now I have it on a harmony mode. So right now it's going to do a third up from what I'm playing, and I set it to D minor. So here, I'll just play the D minor scale by itself. And then with the harmonizer. So yeah, that's always fun to have. You can do some, if you're doing leads on bass, something like so something like that. I don't know. It also, you can also change the pitch. It doesn't have to be a third. Like I can do a, technically works as an octave pedal. This is just one octave down, so clean. Something wrong with my chord. And then with the pedal. Yeah, so it also has detune feature, so which is basically chorus here. I can't this chord, hold on. Alright, so yeah, so it works as a chorus, which I was using, what I mainly use it for, which is why I have it later in my chain. So here, I'll just play something clean. And I also have the shift bend feature on it, which I just basically use like at the end of shows if I want to go crazy. So the blend changes the speed of it. So if I have it all the way down here, it goes down really fast. But if I go max, it'll do it slow. So here, let me do it with this. So with that one, I believe it goes 4 octaves down, but I can also change it to with these 3 voices, so it'll go, I forgot what this one does, let me see. Yeah, and then I have this one where it goes up. So that's pretty cool to have at the end of shows, you know. Alright, so this is actually my favorite pedal on my board. I don't count it as an effect pedal, but just because it's just so necessary for my tone now. It's a preamp / DI Tech 21 Sansamp bass driver. It is great, just gives life to my tone. So I'll just play a little demo right now without it and then with it. So yeah, it adds a lot of life, like that tube kind of sound, Ampeg tone. It has 3 different presets on it, so this is the one I mainly use for my covers. This is more, this preset, it's with everything in the middle, basically, so it's like that technique here. So it's like that, pretty much, except the level, but here's a little demo. nice pedal to have. And what it's also really nice, it completely changes the dynamics of all my other pedals. So I'll pretty much play. Just gonna go through all my pedals with and without the Sansamp right now. So yeah, as you can see, it makes a huge difference. Like completely changes the synthesizers and the distortions. Not as much with the harmonizer, but really affects the way changes the character of the distortions. So it really adds life, adds a punch. So that's really nice to have. And this is the newest pedal I got. It's my first Behringer pedal I got. I was pretty skeptical to buy it. It's a nice pedal. It's a noise reduction pedal. Like the Sansamp generates a lot of noise, and when I add some distortion, as you can see, it's a lot of excess noise you don't want. But with this, it'll reduce that when you're not playing. So here's some noise. See, it reduces it depending on the threshold. Usually I don't have all these pedals on, but it'll only reduce it when it hits the threshold. So see, right when I stop playing, it'll reduce the noise, which is nice to have, because last time I plugged in with all these pedals and distortions, that my amp was feeding back like crazy. So it's nice to have. It was 25 bucks. Works pretty well for 25 bucks, but the build on it is awful. I had to take it apart the first time I got it. Oh yeah, last part of my board is the Voodoo Pedal Power 2 Plus, which is nice to have, because the problem with the daisy chains is that you don't get isolated outputs on each one. They're all sharing the same output, so that can generate a lot of excess noise. Plus, it's not good for your pedals. You want to keep them safe. You don't want anything to blow up or anything crazy like that. So this keeps everything isolated, so each pedal has its own outlet, which is nice to have. Yeah, and everything I put on my Pedal Train 1. Great board. Yeah, so please leave any comments or questions in the comments. If you have any concerns or any recommendations for pedals I should get, please let me know, and I hope you enjoyed the video.